Hey y'all, Rob here with ATX Legal, and if you were charged with a DWI and pled it down to an obstructing a roadway, I've got some good news for you regarding expunctions. It can also apply in some other situations where you were charged with multiple cases and one of those was dismissed. So if that's you, you're definitely going to want to watch this video. Let's jump right into it. So a little bit of background about what an expunction is. Basically, it's the best way to get rid of your criminal history. The records are actually destroyed by the agencies holding those records. It's not perfect. Your record could still be out there on the internet somewhere. But as far as the police agencies and court records, it's like that arrest never happened. And I do have another video that explains that process a little more. I'll link to that video in the description if you want more information on what an expunction is, because today we're just talking about one aspect of that, and that's when you are charged with a crime like a DWI and plead to a lesser crime like obstructing, or if you were charged with multiple crimes in one arrest and you only pled to one. When you plead to an obstructing, the DWI is actually dismissed. So you dismiss the DWI, a new case is filed for the obstructing, and that's the one you plead to. Now I'll circle back to that because it is different in certain situations, but generally that's how it works. But in the past, if you did plead to an obstructing and have the DWI dismissed, your lawyer might have told you you cannot expunge the DWI. Up until 2021, that would have been the case, and the law hasn't changed, but what happened is a new case called Ex parte RPGP was decided in 2021 by the Texas Supreme Court, and they changed the way the law is interpreted. So before the case, courts didn't really know how to handle a certain aspect of the expunction law. They would take what's called an arrest-based approach to any cases that you were looking to expunge. Now what that means is they would look at the whole arrest, and if you were convicted of anything coming out of that arrest, you couldn't expunge any of the cases, even if you got some of them dismissed. So for example, in that case, he was charged with possession of marijuana and DWI. One of them was dismissed. I believe the DWI was dismissed, and he was not allowed to expunge the DWI because he was convicted on the marijuana charge. But the court has reevaluated how you handle these types of situations, and now they're looking at it in what's called an offense-based approach. So they just look at the offense itself in isolation. They don't look at the whole arrest. And if that offense fits the criteria for an expunction, you can have the arrest expunged. There are some caveats here. It only applies to misdemeanors. Some cases where you have a felony and a misdemeanor charged, it can apply there, but basically it's restricted to misdemeanors. But the bottom line is a lot of people who weren't eligible for an expunction before are going to be eligible now. So even if your lawyer told you at the time that you're not eligible, you might want to go back and check and make sure that that's still the case, because your lawyer was right at the time, but the way that courts are now interpreting the law, you might be eligible now. So I'm kind of zeroing in on the obstructing a roadway and the DWI because I think that's a case that applies to just a lot of people. Obviously it applies in other situations as well. But I do want to mention that there are situations where you might have pled to an obstructing, but you're still not eligible for an expunction. And that just has to do with the way that the prosecutor handled that refile. If they decided not to dismiss it and file it into the same case, which does happen in certain jurisdictions. I know Travis County always does the refile, but Williamson County in the past did not do that. So you're definitely going to want to take your case to a lawyer so that he can evaluate whether you're eligible or not. If you're interested in an expunction and you think you might be eligible, maybe you're not sure, just give us a call. I can take a look at your criminal history, no fee for that, and just let you know if you're eligible. You can visit us at atx.legal. Thanks, and I look forward to hearing from you.